Welcome back to Nerdrotic Live. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and I am live in Palm Springs, California. And I just came back. Well, not just came back, but a little while ago, got back from Contact in the Desert. Day 3, technically, but I've only really gone to like 2.5 days or 2.25 days. And it was a hell of a day. I started the morning with Graham Hancock. It was a 2.5 hour lecture, then a 2.5 hour Richard Dolan lecture. And the reason this one's later is I attended an Erich von Däniken lecture, which I actually left early. I'm not big on Q&A when they start the Q&A stuff. I hated that stuff at Comic-Con. Because it's usually some guy asking Erich von Däniken about something that's not, just like really strange, awkward questions. And I'm really not into it. So, yeah, I decided to get something to eat. And here we go. We are starting. Thank you, Justin Wirtz, for the 2 $1 donations. I appreciate it. And I have to send, hang on. There's a little invite I got to set out. Give me just a second, Dar. I'm hoping I'm sending this out to the right email. There we go. And there. Okay. That's why I've got my headphones in. We might have a guest. I'm not sure. Graham Cock. Thank you, battery. Disabled Llama. Ahoy, Gary. Are you having fun out there? I am. As much fun as I can have without my family around. It's like, I'm having fun, but it'd be better if like Mrs. Nerdrotic was here hanging out with me, to be honest with you. But I'm having as much fun as I can have and taking in the lectures. I am finding out, and I have to apologize to Richard Dolan openly, that I was a little tired. I haven't been sleeping good. I don't sleep well when I'm not at home, and this bed kind of sucks. So I didn't sleep very well, and I was nodding off a little bit in his lecture, and I'm like, God damn it, now I can't go talk to him, because I was like, the lectures get long, and it was really interesting. It was great. It wasn't him. It was me. I was tired, and I pounded a triple espresso before it, but when that wore off, I just down. Plus, I'm old. I tried Cardinal Sin, but he had people around him. I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow. Because he's doing he's doing something on Monday. So he's got a table there selling his book, and I fully plan to speak with him first thing in the morning. After nodding out in his lecture, I didn't really feel like going and talk to him, to be honest with you. But he was surrounded by people. I saw Giorgio. I tried to go talk to Giorgio, and he was surrounded by people. I did talk to Erich von Däniken, talked to him for a little while. He was great. Nice guy. Super nice guy. He's got a little blue suit on. When I get old, I want to wear blue suits all the time, like Erich von Däniken. Oh, wait a minute. When I get old, I'm already there. Shit. I already beat you to it, guys. So apparently Mrs. Nerdrotic is in the chat. I don't know. Mel, what account are you under? She just texted me saying that would be a first that I know of. But I don't know what account she's under. Bossy Boots, maybe Agent Bossy Boots, or just Melissa. I'm not sure. But show yourself, woman, if you're in there. So I do have some interesting news, and I have some scary news. So prepare to get frightened because the Graham Hancock lecture was frightening at the end. And then he like ends it by going, I don't mean to be, a fear merchant. I just think we can do something about this. And I'm like, we can't. And it's pretty bad. So Unidentified came out last night. I did watch it. I didn't watch the premiere of Ancient Aliens. I fell asleep like 5 minutes into it. So, not that it was boring. It was late last night. And I have some thoughts on that, and Louis Salazendo, or whatever the guy's name is, who is basically the former intelligence officer who was doing all the interviewing and stuff. apparently, and this came to me at the Richard Dolan lecture. So this is from Richard Dolan, but it was from an email from Jimmy Church. So nobody can verify anything. But apparently the Pentagon is now saying that guy never worked for the organization he said he worked for. My first thought is the Pentagon lies. They also said that Bob Lazar, they also erased his education record, although they still couldn't erase the fact that he worked at Los Alamos Air Base. So yeah, the government does this stuff. I don't know what the hell's going on. The reason I titled this "The State of Ufology" is because there's still this schism within ufology. There's a lot of resentment towards Tom DeLonge's organization, To the Stars. I think there's a lot of reasons for it. There's some resentment that he's trying that they created an organization that's for profit. My only answer to that is yes. Okay, these people, he need to make money. They need to live. And if they're going to bring you footage and information and stuff, they're not going to do it for effing free. So yes, they're going to make money off it. And if it helps us get the truth, yes, we need these people. We need them to be able to pay their bills while they make content for us to bring us up. So having a resentment that they're not doing it for free because they're Jesus or something like that, that's just get out of here with that logic. That's NPC logic. Get that shit out of here. Yes, they could make money. Now, Tom DeLonge from Blink-182, I worked on his car when I worked for Acura. So I mean, it's not the guy you would expect to bring us disclosure. I've got to admit, it's out there, and I'm not too sure if they're legit, to be honest with you. And they could be a government op, of course. You always have to consider that stuff. But at this point, I'm at the point where, like, if we get some kind of truth, even if it's muddled up, or if it's the government, the government's going to do what the government's going to do. But not all of the government is bad. Okay. There's people above that who are calling the shots. They're the ones we need to focus on. Richard Dolan is probably right now that Stanton Friedman is gone. To me, as far as ufology is concerned, he is the voice. He is the person I go to. That I would, like I said before, whether he likes it or not, to me, he's kind of the leader of it. And the funny thing is, he was the cheapest lecturer. He should charge more. Richard, if you're watching, you need to charge more. I would have paid more. And you should be for one, I paid more for Giorgio's lecture than you. That's no. I mean, Giorgio's awesome. He's a great guy. Brought us Ancient Aliens, but Richard Dolan's Richard fracking Dolan. And yeah, so, and I will get to Erich's lecture because Erich is the boss. He's the Godfather, and he had the best lecture. Like Erich von Däniken just freaking, he doesn't start going, well, I went to college and blah, 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 blah. No, he's like, okay, here you go. Cargo cults. We got the cargo cults. And he lays out what a cargo cult is. And then he just lays out, after he does that, he goes into all the cultures and all their carvings, all the stuff that looks like space helmets and stuff. And he's all, listen, they don't know what space helmets look like. So they make it look like a jaguar head and stuff like that. And it's actually, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I think he makes a lot of leaps in logic sometimes, but I love Erich von Däniken. He's the reason, he's one of the reasons Contact there. The name I don't hear enough, that I would just want to start right now. The name I do not hear enough at this organization is probably because they want to kiss George Noory's ass. Art Bell. I didn't hear Art Bell's name mentioned once. Contact in the Desert wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Art Bell. Graham Hancock wouldn't be as popular as he is if it wasn't for Art Bell. It wasn't Joe Rogan who made him popular. It was Art Bell. Richard Dolan is popular because of Art Bell. David Hadger Childress is popular because of Art Bell. Michael Cremo, Art Bell. All these people were on Art Bell first. George Noory might want to erase him from existence. And I know he gave a very emotional thing when he died, but we also know that those two did not like each other very much. So, and maybe they buried the hatchet. I'm not sure, but I just don't hear his name mentioned. And I'm like, really? That's kind of weird considering he's the reason all that stuff's here. There's a generation of adults and kids who listen to him in the late 90s, early 2000s. And he's the one who brought this stuff to the forefront every single night. East of the Rockies, Antichrist line, Art, goddamn Bell. Don't forget them. All right, let's get to the did I see Melissa? Melissa, speak up. Are you in here? You said you were going to be in here. Don't be all shy now. All right, let's get to the super chats real quick, and then I'll get to you. Hail, everybody in the chat. What is up? How's it going? So, yeah, we're going to talk. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay. So Justin Wirtz for 2 $1 donations. Thank you again. Disabled Llama. Yes, I am having a blast. It's like 75% though. I'm like kind of weird when I'm not around my family. Thank you again, Cardinal Sin, for the $1.99 super chat. Mr. Twisted 72, no Pete's. At CTID Gary. No, I went and bought some Pete's coffee at the grocery store and I made my own. So that's what I'm on right now. I'm on some Pete's. Thank you, Mr. Twisted, for the $1.99 super chat. Svi Lebetkin, hey, I got your comic. I got it. I opened up the package right before I left, so I'll show it off when I get back home. Totally fascinated by this topic and didn't know anything about it. Thanks for bringing it to us and loving your travel nerdrotic studio cave. You like this? I'm actually in a giant living room. It was the only place where I could like plug in the light. And it's the only place that had shelves. Yeah, I got to bring a little bit of the flavor with it, the nerdrotic flavor. Michael Canule for $4.99. All hail our nerdrotic leader. Ooh, boy, I don't know if I'm a good leader or not. What do you think of the new History Channel show, Unidentified? I thought it was pretty good. I have to say, though, the recreation of the Tic Tac was done better on the Nimitz Encounter channel. I thought it was done a little better. But we did get the female pilot's perspective on that. And that is now the 4th person we've heard from this encounter. So this to me now becomes a little hyperbole. No, this is no hyperbole. This becomes the single most important UFO encounter in history, because it's acknowledged by trained observers. It's acknowledged by very high up people, by the United States Navy. They're letting this go out. I mean, these people signed NDAs. I don't know why they have to be given permission to talk about this. And yeah, because they couldn't just talk about it if they didn't have permission to do that, because they were very specific on the Nimitz Encounter video. If you guys saw it, they had to sign NDAs. Now, I don't know if the government makes people sign NDAs that expire. That's a little weird, especially when it comes to UFO stuff, when they've really been clamped down. So again, we'll go over the Tic Tac UFO was 40 feet long. I thought it was this little thing, but no, it was 40 feet. It's big. It was very big, and it was moving like something can't move. Like nothing can move like that, and no meat sack could be on the inside of that, because I watched The Expanse. I would know you would be just jelly on the side of whatever the hell that thing was. So whether it was a drone or whatever, but we don't have technology like this. I mean, we as in man. And if some other country does, like China and Russia, we're effed. We're completely effed. We are in big, big trouble. And if it's us that we have it, and they're holding back on the population with this type of energy and this type of technology, that will piss off every citizen of this nation. So there's no good scenario in this. And all we have is hope. And we all know that hope is not a strategy. So we hope that whoever has this technology of the gods, that they just want to research here and don't want to F with us in any way, shape, or form. Otherwise, well, one day at a time, have fun, enjoy life, because you never know. Thank you, Michael. Dax Jacobson, $1.99. You redecorated action figures? No, I am not in my office. Big hint on if I'm not at home. I hate white walls. I don't like painting my walls white. I wouldn't live in a house with white walls. If they had white walls, I would paint them immediately. I dislike them. I don't know why. I just don't. Jeff, thank you for the $1.99. Jeff McKelvey, $5. I watched a few UFO lectures on YouTube today. Such mind-blowing stuff. I loved it and love this channel. Keep up brilliant content, Gary. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So if you just for some reason subscribe to Nerdrotic Live, I actually have a second channel. It's called Nerdrotic, and we're very close to 100,000 subscribers. I think we're about 600 some away now. It sucks. You know, the traveling is just bad timing. I have a video I could have made right now that would have probably gotten us there. Mrs. Nerdrotic sent a subject that just spurred me out when I saw it. I had a little mini brain aneurysm. I triggered. I was so triggered. But I'll try to make it in the morning real quick. And fuck. Oh, it's just between us friends, right? So she sent me an article about all the Game of Thrones fans who have pet regret, who went out and adopted huskies because they wanted to be Jon Snow. Okay, effing a-holes. Buy an action figure. Don't buy a dog if you can't handle stupid, normie, dumb shits. Okay, dogs require, if you've never had a dog, even the most well-trained dog is going to pee in your house. They pee, they poop, they require attention, they need to be walked, they require constant attention. They need love, and yeah, they're a responsibility. So please don't have kids if you can't handle a dog. Please don't have kids if you can't handle a dog. So yeah, that spurs me out. So they put a call out like, hey, we're getting all these dogs brought into shelters because Game of Thrones is over and they're done with their dog now. So yeah, that pisses me off. But it's just when you go, we're really coming along as a race, and you just get something like that, and you go, motherfucker. And then you think, what alien would want to come down here? I like this TV show, so I'm going to adopt a dog that kind of looks like a dire wolf. And then when the show's over, I'm going to get rid of it. Even if it's just one person who did that, you are the dumbest human being on earth and deserve to punch yourself in the face repeatedly. Sorry, back to UFOs. That Jeff, thank you very much for the $5 again. Jeff McKelvey is from 3dtrekker.com 3dtrekker.com, where you can get awesome stuff like the Rocinante and the Orville and other things. Very talented. Yes, he made a 7-foot Enterprise for Vic Mignogna. By the way, I stand with Vic. Razvin Valdowski for $1.99 from San Jose with love. Oh, what's up, Bay Area? Polymath Diletant on Twitter. Okay, am I saying that right? Diletant. Oh, Polymath Diletant. Okay, yeah, I can't. California publicly educated. Come on, Ed, and Eddie TV. My oldest son used to love Ed, and Eddie. How do you all feel about the idea that we are, if we're engineered by some alien race, then who engineered them, and so on and so forth? Yeah, it's kind of like the Russian doll thing. It had to start somewhere, or did it? If we want to go down that rabbit hole, I think I think very much Battlestar Galactica, things repeat. We are in cycles. I think this thing might be just on a giant loop, and that's deja vu. And I know there's some scientific explanation for deja vu. They can come up with a scientific definition for anything. When I get into the Graham Hancock stuff, and I got into it a little bit in the last live stream, there absolutely was an advanced civilization prior to the Ice Age. There had to be. And there's just a couple examples I'll give you that are insane. There's no explanation for it. And you can't just say like some guys in some leather Jaguar tunics figured out this stuff on their own. Cardinal Sin, $1.99. Actually, Giant Rock is the reason it's all there. Giant Rock. I'm not getting that Cardinal Sin. Explain that one. I probably went right over my head. I'm sorry. OBDM videos, $1.99. Thank you for the donation. Cardinal Sin, $1.99. Let me get down there again. Jesus. What did Graham Hancock say at the end of his lecture? Okay, well, let's get to that right now. Okay. So Graham Hancock, by the way, thank you all for the super chat. You keep the lights on here. So Graham Hancock said at the end of his lecture, here, I'll show you a picture. So the whole gist of the Younger Dryas impact theory is, there she is. Oh, okay. Are you in there? Just say something, Melissa. Just type in the chat, go hello. Okay. So at the end of his lecture, he talks about what we can do about this and the whole reason he's doing this. And there is let me get the Tyrian meteor stream. The Tyrian meteor stream, it does a little pretty meteor shower twice a year. I'm going to show you an image real quick. So let me look at my camera so I can point this out to you. I tried to, I might be able to pull this image up later, but we're just going to look at my phone right now. All right. So where's Earth? Okay. That's Earth right there. That's our sun. This little whoosh right there, that's the Tyrian meteor stream. Okay. So the Earth goes through this twice a year. See the little circle right there? That's the Earth. It goes through that twice a year. So it's a giant comet. The estimated size of the original comet, how they know this, I do not know, was 60 kilometers. And it broke up. And there is one piece that is giant in there. I want to say it's like 5 or 6 kilometers. It's a couple miles big. There's a big couple mile piece that we really want to avoid. But it looks like we're not in danger of that. I'm going to dial back, part of the end of the Mayan calendar, a lot of people predicted the end of the world. A lot of people predicted that it was a new age of consciousness. Yes and yes. But it also was predicted that we're getting into a part of the galaxy that's very dirty. It's very filled with stuff. And this Tyrian meteor stream, which has been around forever, we go through it twice a year. Okay, so we go through it. I believe it's, I forgot here. He's got it in here. I know it's November. And no, that's not it. Oh, come on. It's like June and November. So we're just heading into, is it January or June? I can't remember. One of the J's. And when we go through this, the last of like the Tunguska event was from the Tyrian meteor stream. So we're going to be hitting actually in next year, we're going to be close to a very cluttered part of this meteor stream to where they can observe it. They being the scientists can observe it more, and we can get an actual count of like what any potential asteroids are going to hit us. So next year, look for some possible bad news. We've had a bunch of near misses in the last 3 years. Just go look at them. Just Google near miss asteroid and you'll see 2013, 2016, 2017. I don't know if there's been any this year or not, but since 2012, there's been one every year. Like even a half a kilometer asteroid could possibly put us back into the Stone Age. So that's what he was saying. And these are things we could actually avoid if we actually came together and put all of our minds to it. You can move an asteroid. It is possible. It's very difficult, and you can't blow it up. By the way, they've just done horrible news on this one. They just did a mock thing of them. Say somebody could do an Armageddon and drill a hole and put a nuclear bomb in the middle of an asteroid. It would blow up and go whoop, go right back together again because of the gravity, depending on how big it is. So if it's like a big one, it would just blow up and go boop, right back together again. Just wasted a freaking nuclear bomb. So that's in our future. And it turns out that we've been hit a lot. NASA will have us believe it's once every few millennia. No, it's once every few thousand. It's once every. The last big one is believed to have happened in the Bronze Age, and that's not that long ago, geologically speaking. So that's how he ended it. He ended up showing like how often the Earth goes through the Tyrian meteor stream and how vulnerable we are to this. And just in a Tunguska blast. Okay, the Tunguska blast was a 60-foot. This is just estimated 60-foot meteor that blew up in the atmosphere and flattened, what is it, 2,000 square kilometers, 8 million trees, something like that, flattened them. If that blew up over my hometown of San Francisco, everybody in downtown San Francisco would be dead instantly. So that's, and if one of those, I think we all remember the Russian meteor from 2012. I think that was a big wake up call for me. I never thought about that stuff until I saw that. And I saw just what a little asteroid blowing up in our atmosphere with the force of a few nuclear bombs and injuring up in Siberia, basically injuring like 1,500 people, glass flying everywhere, knocking people on their ass from the sound wave. And this was from a meteor that was the size of a VW bus. So it's weird stuff. But the more interesting stuff, he's talking about the Americas. Graham Hancock is talking about the Americas. He's gotten into them because of Randall Carlson and his work with Randall Carlson in his last book, which was freaking great, which was Magicians of the Gods. So he's doing this book. And by the way, he talked about somebody, was it Bear? Was it you who brought up that some guy is claiming that Graham Hancock plagiarized him? He addressed that, and it is not true. So Graham Hancock is not saying that the Egyptians came to America. It's not saying at all. He's saying there is a connection with the Egyptians. He's saying that there was a prior advanced civilization that used to be able to circumnavigate the planet, and he points out very interestingly, like some parallels between the Mississippi Valley, the culture that was there, and Egypt. There's tons of weird similarities. He pointed some out. Feathered serpent gets brought up a lot. There's tons of connections between Egypt and South America and the Maya. And yeah, so there's a shared knowledge, probably from a mother culture that's a lot older, that's a lot more advanced. One of the most interesting things he points out, because he loves to talk about, is ayahuasca, DMT, whatever it is, the trippy god drug or whatever it is that he and Joe Rogan love so much. To make that and to figure this out as a shaman is pretty trippy. So basically you get the DMT from a leaf from a certain plant. All right, no big deal. The problem is when you make it into a tea and you drink it, you don't trip because there's an enzyme in your stomach that keeps you from tripping from that DMT. But there's a root in the rainforest that turns off that enzyme that's in your stomach so you can trip on the ayahuasca. There's 150,000 species of plant, or different types of plant, not species, different types of plant in the Amazon rainforest. And a shaman with a jaguar a little loincloth on, figured this out. Trial and error. I mean, they must have gone through a lot of shaman, I'm thinking, maybe. Turns out that the Amazon rainforest used to be populated by upwards of 20 million people prior to the Spanish coming over. The Spanish came over, they had the smallpox and basically wiped out the damn near the entire Amazonian population. There was structures. There was one guy, I'm forgetting his name, some conquistador, that they built a 50-man, they built a boat enough for 50 men. This was like 1700. First guys to accidentally cross the entire Amazon. So they were sent out to go get some food. So they told this conquistador, I'll just say his name is Pablo. Hey, Pablo, you need to go on this boat. You need to get us some food because we're starving. You need to come back. They got on the boat and they didn't realize that they can't like go upriver. Like once you're in the Amazon, you're going. So they went down the whole goddamn thing and hit the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, God. It's amazing we made it this far, to be honest, as a race. So, but while he was going down there, he was chronicling like, hey, there's cities bigger than any city in Europe and they're fully populated and there's these things. And when they went back years later, all these things were gone. And that we're talking 30, 40 years later, the jungle had grown over the cities because everybody died and left because of smallpox. So now we're finding this stuff. And it's buried under dense jungle, but there's structures and pyramids and all this crap that's going on over there. Another chemical he pointed out that to him proves that there was some kind of scientific knowledge that got passed down from a mother culture that these shaman have either they just orally passed it down or what, however they found out was this okay, so when they eat monkeys in the Amazon jungle. Sorry to report, they eat monkeys, and they eat this monkey that's got this tail that's reactive. So if you shoot it and you kill the monkey, the tail will still like try to grab the closest thing to it, even if it's upon death. And the only thing that'll happen is you'll have killed your monkey and your food is 200 feet up and you can't do anything. So they put this neurotoxin at the end of their arrows. I forgot the name of it. It requires like 17 different ingredients from the Amazon jungle. Again, trial and error. How the F did they know about this? But they put these 17 ingredients together and it makes like the perfect neurotoxin, which was, I think it might be, I don't think he said tetroditoxin, but it might have been something like that. Now, I would have remembered if he said tetroditoxin because Bill Pullman. But don't bury me, I'm not dead. Here, I'll get to the chat here in a second. So, and another thing he pointed out is he brought up that clay, which, not the clay, the soil that I've heard about that they've since figured out that the Amazon rainforest, even though it's the rainforest, is not the most fertile. You can't like grow food there because mostly it's just leaves, and under the leaves, it's not really the best soil in the world. So the Amazonian cultures concocted some soil that you can grow anything in forever. It doesn't die. It doesn't burn out. So you take this soil, I forget something with a C it was called, and you mix it in even with like desert sand and you can grow stuff with it. It's amazing, but I don't think they can duplicate it. They found where it is, but I don't think they can duplicate it. Again, that's a science and that's forgotten or whatever. Kind of mind-blowing shit, but it was really cool. I wish I'll look it up. I took a picture of that clay. Hang on, and then I'll get right to the chat, guys. Sorry. Hope I'm not boring. There's Melissa right there. Agent Bossy Boots. Hi. Well, if you're in here, hi, Mel. Sean Connery. I don't know why Austin Woods just said Sean Connery, but I should have brought my. If you guys ever notice in my office, I have a Sean Connery Thor action figure. So it's the Sean Connery figure from Indiana Jones, the bootleg Henry Jones. And then I put a Captain Action Thor costume on him. I don't know why I brought that up, but David Fassett just messaged me. That's cool. Where'd it go? I know I took a picture of this. There was so much. Dolan had a great lecture too. But there's Graham Hancock signing books, more scary asteroid stuff, Plato, the Comet Research Group. There's Graham. Said he wasn't feeling good. We're getting back. There's the younger Dryas. There's the younger Dryas, Tyrian meteor stream. Where's that effing clay? Don't tell me I didn't take a picture of that. That would really suck. I didn't take a picture of it because I suck. Oh, maybe I did. There's all the earthworks in South America. They're all geometrical. Now, the only thing I don't entirely agree with Graham Hancock on is he connects everything to ayahuasca and DMT. And apparently when you trip on ayahuasca, you see like geometric patterns. Well, you know what? When you trip on acid, you see geometric patterns too. And when you trip on shrooms, you see geometric patterns, and you also see a lot of weird shit. So I don't know about that. I wouldn't say everything's connected to ayahuasca, and then the ancients were just tripping balls all the time. I'm sure they were once in a while, but like why not? But I don't think they centered their culture around it. But there's giant earthworks and henges everywhere in that they're just noticing, like that they've never really thought much of, and they're starting to discover them here. If you notice, like how many of us who are in our 40s, how much did you hear about mounds in school? I didn't hear about once. Now granted, I didn't go to a lot of school, but before, when I was going to school a lot, I didn't hear once about mounds. And yeah, let me show you some of the earthworks, and we will get to the UFO stuff because where'd it go? I took too many pictures today. I don't know why I took so many of Graham. Not like I'm gonna keep them. I was thinking of that UFO that was seen, and they said it was a circle and a square, right? Or was it a square and a circle? I can't remember. But yeah, this is a henge that's in Brazil. It's kind of a blurry picture. So at the end of his lecture, he laid out like all the similarities between Egypt and with the feathered serpent, and not just like imagery, stories. So there is a great in the Mississippi indigenous culture, whatever culture, the Mississippi culture, that's what we're calling from now on. They have a deity called the Brain Smasher, which needs to be a supervillain right now, and it's a female deity. And what this female it literally smashes your brain. So they have imagery in Egypt. They have an equivalent of this, and they have imagery in Egypt of a guy cutting his own head open with an axe. So this goddess can go in and smash his brains. It's like, Jesus Christ. But what it's supposed to be is, in your journey through the realm of the dead, your memory is taken from you. So when you go back, you don't have a memory. You got to go through the whole journey again. So that's what the Brain Smasher does. But the fact that the Mississippi Valley culture had the same deity that the Egyptians had, that just so happened to be a brain smasher that sucked out all your memory for a journey through the afterlife, that's a real odd coincidence. Very odd coincidence. And, Graham Hancock came across the story, but he couldn't read hieroglyphics. So he got somebody to translate it without telling him what it was about. He just said, "Can you translate this for me?" And the woman said, "Why? Can't tell you. I need your just open opinion of what this says." And it depicts a journey of a guy cutting his own head open so the deity can smash the brains. And then here, I can probably pull up a picture of the brain smasher. It's pretty weird looking. And I love the whole concept of this as a villain for some reason. Brain Smasher. Yeah, I don't think there's an image of it. Yeah, nobody else is putting this stuff together except for Graham, which is interesting. It's interesting. All right, back to the chat here, and then I'll get to chatting again myself. Sounds like Graham's lecture, Graham's standard lecture right now. It was, well, I mean, if you heard all of his book interviews, yeah. I mean, I don't know what you mean by standard. He does the standard stuff at the end, but yeah, it's like part of his Magicians of the Gods lecture mixed in with the America Before, and a lot of it was America Before. Thank you, Cardinal Sin, for $1.99. But you can't. I mean, for those of us who listen to a lot of his stuff, there's people gasping in his lecture, and this is stuff I've heard like a million times. So we have to assume that somebody hasn't heard that information before, and I don't mind hearing the same information because I listen to a lot of it. So I don't expect them to do something new every month. It takes Graham forever. The reason Graham Hancock is special and we need him, and he does more work than any archaeologist would ever do, is because he goes out in the goddamn field. He doesn't sit there in his university, read a book, go on one trip, dust off a couple of bones, and call himself an archaeologist. Like, the dude learned how to scuba dive. He's got the resources because he worked his ass off, and obviously he's got the money to travel. But again, he sells a lot of books. He uses that money, gets back into it. And he's not a sellout in any way, shape, or form. He probably could have sold out 1,000,000 times and hasn't done it. And there's a lot of people who need to figure that out, that if you stay true to your roots, you will have your following and you'll still make it big if you stick with it. Somebody like Kevin Smith should learn that on the nerd side. But yeah, Graham, learns how to scuba dive. He's been all over the freaking world, and he's put together, and they're still finding stuff. What was it? Hugh Newman was talking about that they found a bunch of new polygonal walls in Italy and in Sicily, where I was just at, and in Greece. They found like giant polygonal walls that they have just never looked at before. And they look like the walls in South America. And it's just, yeah, and it just required people actually looking for it. What we had was archaeology stuck in a paradigm for 50 years of gradualism, and there was no human beings prior to the Clovis culture, and that kept us from progressing for years. Because why? Because of academic science turning into a dogmatic industry, and stopped being curious, stopped asking questions because they were worried about their peer reviews and shit like that. It's time to throw that shit out the window. It's time to go back to, like, archaeologists and geologists used to be other things. That's pretty new for that to be a specialty. And I think it just needs to go back to being, it's like the amateur astronomers are discovering as many stars and comets as the professional ones. That doesn't mean you should listen to everybody, but there's guys out there like Brian Forster and David Hatcher Childress who, I mean, you just go around the world. There's really, they've done as much studying as any archaeologist, and honestly, they're not moving the needle. Ancient Aliens, people can hate that show as long as they want, but that show is going to make archaeologists. It's going to make more archaeologists than since freaking Raiders of the Lost Ark. You look, in 10 years, there will be archaeologists because of that show, and a lot of good will come out of it, whether you like the theory or not. Gary, if given a chance, would you take DMT? When I'm 80. When I'm 80. That would be something I would have to talk to Mrs. Nerdrotic about. And but honestly, You take DMT, you crap yourself, you throw up, and then you crap yourself, and then you take some crazy spiritual journey where you talk to like wood elves in a cave or something like that. I mean, it does totally sound interesting, other than crapping yourself and puking. But yeah, it'd be the kind of thing I like. I like the psychedelics quite a bit, but clean and sober. And I don't know. It sounds like Graham Hancock required the DMT. It sounds like he was very disassociated with his spirit. He's a little neurotic, Graham Hancock. Well, he's a lot neurotic. But I'll say this. He says he's tripped on DMT 70 times. And during his lecture, I did not know this in 2017, like he almost died. He had a seizure and he showed pictures of him on the ventilator and he looked fucking dead. He looked dead. So I could not believe that was the same person I was looking at on stage. It was horrific. I mean, he had machines hooked up to him. He looked dead. I think he had the seizures due to the DMT. That shit deposits itself in your spine because I know too much acid can give you seizures. I know too much E can give you seizures. I knew too much MDMA can give you seizures. And I know even mushrooms can give you seizures. It depends on the person, depends on your physiology. It's dangerous stuff. It's not stuff to be played with. It's not stuff that you should be telling everybody to take because it's not good. If you are bipolar and you drop acid, you're going to have a fucking bad trip. Like, do not drop acid if you're bipolar. Don't tell people who are bipolar to take a psychedelic. It could be extremely dangerous. Eddie TV $9.99. I'm new to all of this, so I don't know shit. It's okay. But the fact that civilizations oceans apart built similar pyramids is all the evidence I need for either an advanced civilization or extraterrestrials. Yeah, if it's really, yeah. I mean, you got to look at it in the most simple terms. If we were so separated, how do we? I mean, completely different cultures building pyramids thousands of miles apart. Now, the pyramids are a little different, but they're still pyramids and they're all over and they're all based on the earthworks that came prior to those. And those things are effing everywhere, mounds. I mean, like you're in America and you have some hill. Okay. If you have a hill in the middle of nowhere, and I've never even thought about it, but if you're like walking around Oklahoma and there's a big old hill and there's no hills anywhere else, that's a mound. That's a mound, and they could be everywhere. There's probably a bunch that are unidentified. Let me get caught up here. God, I really hate that light shining me in the face for some reason. I might need to move it. How's everybody doing tonight? And I was caught up to, okay. That's called the argument from reductionism. What did Graham Hancock's reductionism and gradualism? Mayan calendar was Y2K BS, says Mr. Twisted 72. The Y2K thing was BS. The Mayan calendar was not. They just interpreted it wrong. It wasn't the end of the world. And most people weren't saying it was the end of the world. It was more of an end of an age. Kind of like, this is the end of the third age. We are into the fourth age, Frodo. Will you be reviewing the Chernobyl series? Probably not, Dr. Venkman, for $2. Probably not. Because I unsubscribed from HBO. So I will not be reviewing anything. I'll probably watch it when I have to sign back up to HBO to watch Watchmen, and then I will quit again. But yeah, I unsubscribed to HBO. Stuck to my guns on that one. F HBO. Just bought Mother Good Omens, and we are watching it. Oh, good day, Peter Davidson, and give Mom a hug for me. Tell her she looks beautiful today, and do what you're told, Peter. Listen to your mother. Thank you. Cardinal Sin, $1.99. Again, you're that was the DMT thing. God, that's a tough question. There's part of me that would love to, but it would probably just, I can't. It'd be like, could you drink one beer? Could I drink one beer? Maybe. I could maybe just drink one beer. But even if there's like a half of 0.00001% chance, I could also drink that beer and want to go buy an ounce of cocaine right afterwards. So it's best not to risk it. Matt Joseph for $5 learned plenty about mounds in school living near the Newark Earthworks in Heath, Ohio. The Octagon is mind blowing. That's good because we wouldn't get taught shit in California about them, Matt. But apparently there was just a giant civilization in Ohio and up the Mississippi Valley, and possibly prior to the Clovis, and nobody knows about them. Nobody knows squat about them. His Joe Rogan podcast touched on all this stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, it did. Well, I don't know. Did I watch all the stuff? But yeah, not everybody watches the Joe Rogan podcast. But was there anything new? Yeah, he got into some stuff that he didn't get into in the podcast because he lectured for 2.5 hours on it. And we also got many pictures. But yeah, if you want to avoid it and just watch the Joe Rogan podcast, that's cool. They talk too much about the DMT crap in that podcast. I kind of fast forward through that stuff. What did Joe Rogan say? Yeah, every politician should take DMT. I was like, maybe. I might agree with that one, to be honest with you. Mr. Twisted 72, $1.99. Gotta see Bright Sights vid, Gary. Oh, I did. I watched it, and we're going to talk about that in a second. What's up, DJ D Show? Thank you for the $1 super chat. Yeah. Oh, I catch all that stuff. I can't believe I was. It's weird. I didn't get the notification from his. I usually get a notification from him because Jimmy only makes a video like once a month, right? No notification, wasn't in my feed, and I had the bell clicked and everything, and I looked at my feed and it didn't show up at all. So this was discussed in Richard Dolan's, and we're gonna have to talk some YouTube suppression stuff because it's happening. And yeah. We should come next time. It's pretty fun. The Cardinal Sin. Here's the bummer. There's way too many paid extra workshops. The good thing is it's inside. Last time I went, it was all outside in the desert, and that sucked. And that's why I didn't come back. So now that they brought it back inside, it's cool. Yeah, I don't like all the paid workshops thing. It seems like we've already paid $250 and now you want us to pay another $50-$60 to see our favorite person. But it seems like they got the crowds figured out pretty good. So nobody's not able to see stuff if they don't want to. And the Crystal Amphitheater, which is the main amphitheater, has had some pretty good lectures. You could probably just sit in that thing all day and be fine. But it was definitely worth the money to see Erich von Däniken. His was awesome. Wait, is Gary Snowflame and Mrs. Nerdrotic Brain Smasher? Brain Smasher should be Snowflame's villain. Yes, Mikey. Yes. I got to check and see if she said she's in here. I don't know if she said anything though. Did anybody see her? I was babbling. Austin Wood says, "Don't do drugs, kid." You're absolutely right. I don't. Oh, there she is, right there. What's up? That idea of the Zodiac. Also, you came back as a very sign until you ascend nirvana. Look at that. There's Mrs. Nerdrotic right there. You guys didn't even see her. Melissa Wagner is Mrs. Nerdrotic, everybody. She's in the house. She got a cute little avatar right there. There you go. So yeah, that's Mrs. Nerdrotic is Melissa Wagner. Said hi to her earlier. Okay, I was too busy fucking yakking. Hey, what's up? What's up, baby? Yeah, I got an invite out to Doomcock. It might be kind of late for him though. So we'll see if he can't join tonight. Then I will be, tomorrow night is the Inquisition on his channel. So we will be talking there. Okay. Let's get my little notes out here. Richard Dolan's lecture, and this is the problem. Cardinal Sin brings this up when you watch a ton of YouTube. When I'll keep it to I statements. When I watch a ton of YouTube and listen to these lectures, I hear everything I've heard before. So I was like, God damn it, I've heard this before. And I don't get mad at Richard Dolan or anybody because, like, I watch Richard Dolan's live stream every time he live streams. I just think he's, again, the best of us. He's a gentleman and he is eloquent. He doesn't cuss. Apparently, all of his videos get demonetized, which is unbelievable, which is absolutely unbelievable because, none of his, the only thing out there that might be construed as out there is he does the alien abduction thing, which I completely believe in. Talked to Travis Walton today. That was cool. And his story is legit as hell. Fire in the Sky, by the way, if you don't know who Travis Walton is, remember the movie Fire in the Sky from 1993 about the abduction? Yeah, that's Travis Walton. So he was there. Yeah, Richard Dolan is the best of us, and what's happening to ufology is this To the Stars Academy with all the best intentions in the world. And I'm not even they're an organization trying to bring us the truth. I think everybody involved actually wants to do that. I know Tom DeLonge he's always been in the UFOs. He's always mentioned that. Even when he was in the heyday of Blink 182, he always talked about UFOs and conspiracies. So, he's always been into it. There's accusations of him trying to stay relevant. I actually think, like, if he wanted to be relevant, he could go tour with Blink 182 again, or I think he has. I think it's actually just a hobby. I think it's no different than how I feel about it. I decided to do a live stream because I just love talking about this stuff. So I think that's the case. So I don't think people should judge him too harshly. They've made some huge mistakes. Like Tom DeLonge went on Joe Rogan and looked like a complete idiot. There's the whole balloon thing, which was just terrible. And we have to be careful because there's people trying to ridicule any of us who believe in UFOs, shame us. We're all used to it. Whatever. I don't care. But this needs to get looked at, and we need to start questioning the people who ridicule anybody who believes in UFOs, because it's not a little green men thing anymore, right? It's with this Navy story, the Nimitz thing, the thing from the East Coast, like, this is legit stuff now. So we need to really start thinking about it. And okay, maybe let's consider everything. Let's consider it's possibly UFOs, or China has a drone that could, completely wipe us out. Both are kind of shitty scenarios. And this is stuff you actually do need to think about, because you never know when life is going to go sideways on you. And we can't, it's just good to be prepared. And I still think it's the story of the century. It was the story of last century. And it's going to take a long time, but there's people who are starting to take it seriously, and it's just progress, not perfection. I guess that's what I'm getting at. But there's a bunch of infighting in ufology still. Tons of infighting. And I don't know if that'll ever stop, but that does the most damage. That does more damage than anybody ridiculing us, is like people like snarking at each other on live streams and stuff. It's like, come on, guys. It's bad enough. Like, it's one thing if there's like there's YouTube drama and, whatever. But there shouldn't be YouTube drama between ufologists. Want to try to avoid that at all costs. Otherwise, you'll end up in the blood sports and all that crazy shit. Oh man, my mouse isn't working anymore. Let's go. I thought you were going to bed, Melissa. I'm glad you're here, though. I think it's a first. I was kind of thinking, man, am I going to be self-conscious with my wife in the stream now? But nah, I don't think so. I'm trying to find you. Oh, I need to make you a mod. Hang on, Melissa. Hang on. There you are. There. That way it's easier to find you too. So now you're a moderator. Okay. Some classic Medicare. Yeah. Could you see Medicare getting a hold of like Richard Dolan and Mike Barra or somebody? Like they're not fighting. I just picked those names randomly. It'd be kind of funny. Yeah. Maybe the government has real UFOs and they have yet to replace the space shuttle. It says Thunder Robots. I think some of the stuff that we are seeing is absolutely the government stuff. Yes, there are some things we're seeing that is ours for sure. But I don't think the Tic Tac is ours. We can't make anything that can move like that. We just can't. No way in hell. Canadian $3 from Sacramento, California. Learned about mounds in school in the 90s. Cool. I don't know. I never learned about mounds in SoCal, but yeah, whatever. Thanks, Nicole. That's good. I'm glad we learned about them, and we need to keep learning about them. There is a very good channel that covers. It's called CFAPS. Just look up CFAPS. He covers mounds. He is brilliant. He's very very down to earth, for lack of a better term. Anthony Mata for $9.99. Hi, Gary. You inspired me to listen to Michael Cremo about forbidden archaeology, which is fun stuff. Theory that humanity goes back more than 1 million years ago. Fascinating. Yeah, it's out there, but he does the outer place artifacts, like the gears that are found in pieces of coal that are millions of years old. I have no explanation for that, but the stuff exists. And it's very weird. There's even it's called a out of place artifact. It's called a OPA, right? Everybody's kept on saying OPA today. I'm like, OPA, out of place artifact, and OPA. I get it. It's good to see you here, D show. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Had to fix that. And Cardleson says, no, I'm totally jealous. Wish I'd be there. Wish I'd been there. Come next year. It's actually, the venue's fantastic. Next year, I'm going to stay at the venue. If they're doing it there, I'm definitely staying at that venue because their pool is badass. And I wanted to go in their pool. It's got like a little fake sandy beach. Yeah, but I mean, you can't beat this place for $75 a night. Airbnb, yo. Airbnb. All right. Back to the regular chat. UPA, out of place artifacts. If Justin M is here, he's going to get booted. Says Viking Turtle. Yeah, Justin M. Yeah. Don't mess with Melissa. All offense going in my report. Oh yeah, right. She's a disciplinarian, that one. You said you thought pre-Ice Age civilization was humans. How do you reconcile that with lore from many ancient civilization that says that it was the gods, sky people? Generala, I'm going to try to say your name right. General. Sorry. God, my brain is. Whew. Well, I think it was. I'm not 100% sure, Genera. I'm not. What I think the gods were humans with advanced technology. But that's not to say that there wasn't. I think there might have been a little of both. Some aliens involved and some very advanced humans involved. What gets brought up a lot, and that's seen the weirdest thing of them all, and it's seen in South America, it's seen in Egypt, and it's seen at Göbekli Tepe, is those guys carrying the bags. Now, of course, Graham Hancock thinks it's their dope bag. They're carrying around ayahuasca, which tells me he's just taking that goddamn theory too far. And God, I forgot the guy's name. Came up here with the best theory of them all. So I'll show you what the bags are, what I'm talking about, and I'll give you guys some context. And even like the guy who gets into the craziest theories, I thought had the Ben Carson, had the best, Billy Carson. Billy Carson right there had the best explanation of them all. So let me show you what bags I'm talking about. Here is bag. Oh no, I don't want to actually look at somebody selling me some ancient civilization bags. What are the mysterious handbags seen on ancient carvings across the world? Here we go. Here we go. So here's what I'm talking about. These bags are depicted in high relief in carvings all around the world, and they're also associated with people with wings. So it's either the feathered serpent, it's a serpent with a wing carrying this bag, or it is a person with a bag. God, piss off, ad. Oh my God, shoes. Piss off. And you can piss off. There we go. So these bags, here we go. You guys can see that now. So these little handbags, now they could be Gucci bags and they're just really into their bags, but this is, we're talking, so on the top of the T-pillar here, there are the bags. This is from South America. There's the bag. This is Egypt, bag. Mesopotamia, bag. So Mesopotamia, Egypt, Göbekli Tepe, Quetzalcoatl from South America. Yeah. So what are these bags? Well, let me show you what Billy Carson said it was that I thought was pretty clever. It's just a possibility. I'm not saying it's the answer. I say those. I think that's a good representation of what the bags are. They could either be some kind of life support, or they could be kind of like their laptop, basically, what they're carrying around. So the theory behind this was there was a cataclysm that wiped out the ancient civilization, but there were survivors. So they were trying to reseed. Göbekli Tepe is an information center. It's a way to pass on information. Right around 12,000 years ago, that's when agriculture came out of nowhere and just popped up. And all of a sudden, like, people who were cavemen and hunter-gatherers woke up one morning and went, "Hey, Sam, let's start a city. Like, nobody's done it yet, and we're the first. Let's start a city. You and me, pal. Civilization. We're going to start growing our own food, and in a few thousand years, suburbia. You and me. What do you think of this idea, Sam?" And Sam goes, "That's a great idea. Let's invent beer first." Okay, so they invented beer, and then they invented civilization, and that's what the Graham Hancock has been going over this theory now for 20 some odd years. And it was cool. I was in line. I was having a lot of, I'm by myself. So I get kind of chattery and I start talking to people in line, and I can tell some people are annoyed and some people aren't. And we were talking about Graham and like when he hit the scene and like, where'd you first hear of Graham? And a lot of people first heard of Graham from YouTube. And then there was old cats like me who heard of him from, again, Art Bell. And watching this theory evolve and how much it's catching on and how Graham was looked at as a complete kook whack job because he believed in Atlantis. But he didn't believe in like the Atlantis that you would think. And the people who don't look into his research, the people who, I mean, honestly, you can't judge Graham without reading. Nobody should say anything unless they watch the Joe Rogan, watch a couple Joe Rogan podcasts, or actually read his book, read his fucking book, and then criticize if you want to criticize. But he's just a reporter who puts his boots on the ground, does a lot of great work, and again, he's a rock star. He was a rock star this weekend. Like, people were giving him standing ovations, and it's crazy. I mean, this is even different from a couple years ago. For one, the crowd's completely different. There's like more, there's less crystal new agey people here, and there's like, younger people here. It always, Contact in the Desert always leaned kind of old. And I do have some unsolicited advice for them. That, for one, why isn't Contact in the Desert? I know Jimmy Church is doing a show, but like, dude, they need to have their own YouTube channel and be doing live streams like all day long. How the hell are they not doing this? How are they not streaming their lectures? Because they're worried about losing a couple bucks. People will super chat your lectures, dude. You'll get the money back. They're selling DVDs of the lecture. It's like, dude, just give us digital copies. You don't need to they're literally burning DVDs on site. Burning DVDs when they can just I'll email you the download. I there's some things that just seem a little old. I'll get this picture off. But yeah, they should be doing live streams. Like, why not? Why not? Hello, Christy Miller and Kaylee, the Cinema Queen. I know DVD. And you know what? I'm a dumbass. I bought a couple of them because I wanted to see, a couple lectures that I missed. But they were like, I think 3 for $8. It's like, you could charge that much for a digital copy. You wouldn't have to burn anything. I don't get it. Maybe they have Nero back there and they're burning their DVDs. What is this? 2005? Would it be possible for someone to recap the last 45 minutes? I'm at work and had to step out. We're all gonna die, Jason. No, I'm just kidding. There's a rewind function. You can unless I have it turned off, I'm pretty sure you can rewind the live stream. You can hit the little red bar and go backwards. I mean, you wouldn't be caught up with the chat, but I remember TEDx banning Graham Hancock's TED Talk. Yes, kind of the best thing that happened to him. What people don't understand is when you ban somebody or you make them stronger. Since it's just here, it's just us here on the live stream. I fully intend to push whatever limits I can without no threats. I'm not gonna, when I go to the Star Trek convention, I'm not gonna cause any trouble. I'm not gonna ask trolley questions of the panels or anything. No, I'm not gonna, I don't want to mess with anybody's good time, but I am gonna walk around with some questionable t-shirts like Justice for Anas or tardigrades in the Star Trek font, not my Star Trek, stuff like that. We'll see how far I get with that. We'll see. We'll see. I just want to get creative with the t-shirts. But see, I don't want to get kicked out because Melissa is really looking forward to it. She even bought some stuff. So, because Melissa's the Trekkie, folks. I love Star Trek. I do love it dearly, but I think my wife loves it more. And she's like, oh, gee, she likes the original series, yo. She's not like, a lot of the ladies like Next Generation, which is totally cool because Next Generation's great. Star Trek is greater than Star Wars, says Nihilist Shadow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Just because there's more of it. I've always said, there's hours and hours more of Star Trek. It's a deeper universe. And I know the people are going to be all EU, and EU's awesome, man. Nothing bad to say about the EU, but EU is a lot of it's just comics and books. And if you bring in the comics and books with Star Trek, it is It's just a more fleshed out world. And then, but it's debatable who's done more damage. Oh, JJ. That's not debatable at all. JJ Abrams has destroyed 2 franchises. He should go down in history as the asshole who destroyed 2 franchises. Where do you find Trek girls? Not on the East Coast. Oh, High Plains Drifters. There's Trek girls everywhere. Everywhere. Ladies love the Trek. They do. Star Trek can still be saved. Star Wars is, you're right, Nala Shadow. Yeah, I agree with that. From what I understand, the STDs suffer from empty lines at things. Yes, they do. Last 45 minutes, Tic Tac UFO. Okay, so that's good, Viking Turtle. I love that. Last 45 minutes are Tic Tac UFO, probably not good. Mounds everywhere, Mississippi Valley, Nile Valley, meteors are going to destroy the earth. That was it, man. Fucking Viking Turtle. How could you keep track of one of my conversations? I can't even keep track of what I talk about. I'm kind of like a gnat on crystal meth in a pinball machine. That's what my conversations are like. So I don't know how you guys keep track of any of this stuff. So props to you guys. Thank you, by the way, for being here tonight. Thank you so much for the super chats. Look at all those wonderful wrenches. Austin Woods, Jason M, Phaser 1X, Anthony Mata, Cotton Candy Beard Gary, Melissa Wagner, Dr. Venkman, Red Shirt Stardust, Arcantos, Deaths 0079, Jamie Folds, Douglas Nelson. Hello, my friend. Bear Knight. And of course, Viking Turtle with that great recap. Well done. Starlight 74, Nihilist Shadow, my good friend Kaylee, the Cinema Queen, Philip A. Demick, Jeff McKelvey, the 3D printing motherfucker, and Austin Woods, and Dax Jacobson, Battery, Chili Peen, the Wooden Man, Ika Bronco, Joseph. Who else is here? Is that okay? It's just us. All right. Dr. Meatball, are one of our winners from Game of Thrones, man. You got I'm sure you sent me back the email. I haven't checked my email, Dr. Meatball, but I'll send you either the 3 books or the 3 audiobooks. It's gonna be a gift through Audible. So let me know what you want. Striderman, hail. Hail to you. Oh yeah, Dr. Meatball is one of the people who won our. Nobody got it exactly right. Not a single person got all the deaths exactly right. Now, if there's somebody out there who can prove that they sent the email prior to the or the day of the death pool and that I missed it, please by all means send it, resend it with I need. But you got to show me your original email that you sent, and I'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. So, but yeah, as far as I saw. Nobody, some people got close, but nobody got it exactly right, which is weird. Tweeted a lost civilization Photoshop. Oh, you did? Here, did you do it right now, Doug? Let's look at it right now. Let's look at it. Wonder what happened to Doomcock. I probably started too late for him. By the way, happy birthday to Tom at Midnight's Edge After Dark. I wonder if the birthday stream. I heard Mecca singing, and Mary was singing. Mary's a good singer, and Tom was singing. And Tom was very drunk. It's not very good. He was kind of funny. All right, let's go to Twitter. Twitter. Oh, why is Susan tweeting out pictures of the Ash versus Evil Dead season 1 table read? It just reminds me that Ash versus Evil Dead is gone. Oh, I don't care about baseball. You tweeted it at me? Okay, I thought it was a direct message. Sorry. Derp. There it is. Oh, what the? Oh man, That's shit. Uh, God damn, that's gonna be the thumbnail tomorrow. Where are my tattoos? They went away. Come on, Doug. And this is that's virgin body Gary right there. Happy birthday to Tom. Yeah. I'm not gonna sing. Don't worry. I promise you I won't sing. So Jimmy Church was saying that what is how is it Lou Alzando? What did you guys think of did anybody see Unidentified, and what did you think? Give me one word answer. Good, man. I thought it was pretty good. I thought the female pilot, I'm sorry, that's just they identified her as female pilot. I thought it was interesting to hear her perspective because she was kind of a trainee. And she's the one in the Nimitz video who goes, "Do we have any weapons?" And it freaked everybody out. They're like, "Did she just ask for weapons? Did she just ask if we had like weapons? Are we going to start firing at something? What the hell?" So the Nimitz mission is very interesting. I thought that was, I thought everybody on it is legit. I think it's absolutely fascinating. The Tic Tac UFO thing is like, I was talking about this to Melissa. I was like, I can't believe more people aren't talking about this. I think this is disclosure, and I think it's going to be a very disappointing reaction from the populace. The populace who was supposedly going to freak out and, oh my God, and panic, and it's going to destroy our financial system and our belief system. I think most people are just going to go, I got to go Instagram right now. I can't be worried about aliens. So yeah, I think it's going to probably take an invasion for somebody to actually give a shit. So, maybe it'll be just like, honey, are aliens real? Oh yeah, they said aliens are real like 10 years ago. Oh, okay. I must have missed that one. I was too busy on Instagram or something, looking at thoughts on Tumblr. That's a DJD. That was for you, man. That was for you. This wonderful picture is by my good friend Douglas Nelson. Please follow him on Twitter. He's a cool dude. That is brilliant. That's freaking brilliant. I'm gonna retweet that right now. God damn it. Doomcock, if you're out there, dude, come on, man. We need to do an Exozone. Well, we'll be on his channel tomorrow night, and maybe we can do an Exozone Tuesday, maybe, hopefully. Oh, dude, where'd it go? There it is. Sorry. I'm going to retweet and say, there we go. I just retweeted. All right, back to the chat. Sorry, folks. Do enjoy. I'll make more. I love when you do those, Matt Douglas. They're so well done and they're hilarious, especially the ones with me and Doomcocker. Funny. Dr. Beekler-Stone, I presume. Yes, Matt Joseph. Yeah, Doctor. No, I'm Dr. Love. Calling Dr. Love. Call me Dr. Love. I got the cure you're thinking of. Oh, Turtle Island. I don't know why that just made me think of that, but again, that's here we go. Turtle Island. So Graham Hancock at the end of his lecture talked about Turtle Island, and I'm trying to see if I get a legit picture of it, and surmised that Atlantis could have been America, because America was pretty much ground zero for the Younger Dryas impact event. That's where all the flooding was. So that's where the flood. The only thing that doesn't like jive is even Graham Hancock said America wasn't an advanced civilization. There was a civilization, but they were not advanced. They were doing earthworks. They weren't doing anything like the Egyptians were. I still think I really love, and if you guys aren't aware, the IS, the Sahara. Okay. So the Rakat structure. I think that is now. I think Atlantis was a civilization. That the city of Atlantis was its capital, and I think this really could be it. Again, if there's a couple people out there who didn't see Bright Sights, Bright Insight. Sorry, did I say Bright Sight? I meant Bright Insights. Video of the Recat structure. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Here, I'm going to show this to you. There's a GIF. I like that. Let's see if it cycles through again. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So there's the Recat structure, and you throw some water on it and some civilization, and oh crap, that is cool. So Graham talked about this a little bit, and he talked about the desertification of the Sahara, and how on the not the Piri Reis map, but some of the older maps that showed Antarctica when they shouldn't have showed it, they also showed Africa as being, it wasn't a desert. So yeah, this is fascinating. That's cool. I was just looking for a picture. I didn't even know this was going to pop up, but I do like that. Oh, I dig how they acknowledge that. See, okay, I always wondered why nobody brings up, see that right here? Like nobody brings that up, that little circle. I always notice that. Did you guys know that there is an impact crater, within a few hundred miles of this too? A pretty big one, about the size of the one that there is in Arizona. That's pretty crazy. Yep. I like that. I like that. Okay. Oh boy. I'm looking back at the super chats here. Dr. Venkman says $5. Those bags are the ones you bought at ancient shopping marts to carry your goods, or means that women wanted bags to hit us with even back then. Yes. The bag was invented to hit the husband over the head when they say something stupid, which is, well, I mean, ask Melissa. It's daily, sometimes hourly. Nicole Poos, I don't want to say your last name wrong, so I'll say Nicole P. Canadian $2. Tall whites supposedly eat from bags. Related? Oh, maybe. I don't know. I didn't hear about the eat from bags, but I know about the tall whites, which is an alien race that are, God, they're not the ones from the ones from Zeta Reticuli. I always get that mixed up with the Vega. Yeah. So I'm gonna do one more. Oh, by the way, here's my contact in the desert shirt I was rocking today. And we are gonna. Okay, so tomorrow's a big day. Because I get to go to the Graham Hancock workshop. Now, cardinal sin. If I paid $50 and I hear the same thing I heard yesterday, then I'm going to be a little sideways. I do want to hear something new at the Graham Hancock workshop that I'm paying $50 extra for. I got a bunch of books. Oh, I met David Hatcher Childress today. He was at, by the way, it kind of reminds me of Comic-Con back in the day. All these guys and gals, like all of them, even Graham Hancock, go hang out at a table all day and sell their books, and you can just go up and talk to them. Brian Forster, Giorgio Tsoukalos, everywhere. So tomorrow in the morning, I'm going to try to get like pictures and a little video with at least Giorgio and David Hatcher Childress. I talked to him for a little while today. He had the best shirt on. So it was a big question mark made out of alien heads. I want that shirt. He's a super nice guy. By the way, he looks great. He lost a bunch of weight. He looks fantastic. And Giorgio looks good. Brian Forster's hilarious. Travis Walton was cool. Erich von Däniken was cool. But I'm going to try to talk to Richard Cardinal Sin tomorrow. I just felt too embarrassed after nodding off in his goddamn panel, but I was a little tired. Oh, Jesus. I got to get my my magnifying glass on. I'll put, again, apologies. Hopefully I can make a video tomorrow too on the other channel. It sucks all that copyright strike stuff has gone down while I've been gone, but I hear Anna got her video back at that Star Wars girl, so that's good to hear. But what I mean, not that any other YouTubers are watching, but if you are listening, when we do trailer reactions, they can absolutely take you down for that. So my suggestion is like, don't do them or do still shots. Even then, that's questionable. But remember my copyright strike. I got hit for a video that was unlisted that was 2 years old. So I think before next year, because I think a great purge is coming on YouTube. I think this is a test shot. Richard Dolan talked about it today. He talked about how they changed the algorithm. They changed the algorithm because of Brie Larson. They've changed it because of the Secure Team 10 stuff. And a lot of bullshit's going on right now. And I like YouTube. I'm grateful for the platform. So I don't like to criticize YouTube. And I will even sympathize that they're in a tough situation. They have to satisfy their advertisers, but they have to satisfy us. And for as much criticism as YouTube gets, there's a lot of us who generally don't get messed with at all. I rarely get a video demonetized. I tell you every time it happens. And it rarely stays demonetized. They've generally left me alone. And they leave most other people alone. For Christ's sake, watch a Nurkish video. Okay. They allow stuff to come on that's pretty out there. So I think they're getting pressured. But I think for the first time, though, they realize what they are. And what they are is the single biggest threat to Netflix, Disney Plus, and all that, as long as they leave us alone. If they just leave us alone, YouTube can become, well, it already kind of is the biggest thing, but it was a huge topic of conversation throughout the show today was YouTube. And honestly, they call themselves the consciousness community. I just like to call it the UFO. I don't know about the consciousness stuff, but they're a little behind on this stuff. They were letting people rip off their lectures and put them up there for years when, Richard Dolan is finally like doing his own channel. Mike Barra is doing his own channel. David Etcher Childress should be doing videos every day. Graham Hancock should have his own channel and do like content, and you wouldn't need a Gaia or anything like that. I don't know much about Gaia. I don't subscribe to Gaia. I just know they work a lot with David Wilcock. And that's kind of a turnoff to me. I used to like him a lot. Okay. So let's see what's going on tomorrow. Sunday schedule. So I am going to see, I think David Etcher Childress tomorrow. Who's in the morning? I don't know that person. Cryptozoology. Is that Sunday? Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm going to go to the Bigfoot podcast. That's the only Bigfoot thing I've seen. That's at 11. So I'm going to go to a Bigfoot podcast. That's in the... Oh, Linda Moulton Howe. Oh, dude, right on. It's the Cryptid Factor Live podcast, live interview with speaker Linda Moulton Howe at 11 a.m. Yes. I will report back from that. That's the only cryptid news I've seen. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm tired. It's midnight. I was kind of hoping Doug Doomcock would come on, but he didn't. So everybody have a great night. I will be back on Doomcock's channel tomorrow at 7-ish p.m. Pacific time, or 6 or 7. I'm not sure. Stay tuned. I will try, if I decide to come back early prior to the Inquisition, I'll do a contact wrap up here. So keep an eye on my Twitter, keep an eye on the community section. If not, then we'll do like a wrap up Monday morning before I'm going home on Monday. I'm not going to stay. I miss my wife. I miss my kid. So I'm leaving Monday. So I'll probably do a Monday morning live stream here to wrap the whole event up. So thank you everybody for joining, and thank you to my wrenches, Mr. Twisted, Kaylee the Cinema Queen, Christine Miller, Nihilist Shadow. Thank you for being here. Am I missing anybody? Of course, Melissa Wagner, Conrad. The bags are from the duty free shop. Oh yes, of course. It's good to see you, Austin Woods, and everybody else. Thank you for all the super chats. You help keep the lights on here. Yes, I will be back to doing videos on the other channel. Again, I will make this request. We are so close to 100,000. So if you can get your mom to subscribe to Nerdrotic, your dad, your sister, make sure they're over 13 though. I get a little salty sometimes, but yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great. And we'll have a big celebration. So the plan is when we hit 100K over there, we're going to do something for a charity. I haven't decided which charity we're going to do something for, but it might just be the Peter Mayhew Foundation again. Why not? Or no, you know what? We'll do for Emily Clark's charity, the brain injury recovery charity. We'll do that. Since Game of Thrones has been so good to me, I think we can give back to her a little bit. I think that would be cool. So, and yeah, just something for fun. 619. That's an area code for San Diego. That's 619. So 619. Is that all we got to go? 619. Nice. That is great. Yeah, Amelia is awesome. I love that video. So, oh, that's also, yeah, well, you know, we can do both, Cardinal Sin. We can do David Tennant's charity and Amelia Clark's charity. We can like pick, we can do like everything that, except for, I don't want to do Star Trek charity. We'll do David Tennant's charity and Amelia Clark's charity. And it's 3 a.m. on the East Coast. For Christ's sake, create the imaginable. I am sorry for keeping you up so late. So everybody have a great night. Please go to nerdrotic.com for my live stream schedule, and I'll try to do some videos live from the event tomorrow. And we do not kneel over here. Good night, Melissa, and may the free folk sing songs of your greatness. Ciao.